In this video, we're going to be making 3 of your favorite cartoons realistic in Photoshop. Let's start this off with everyone's favorite character, SpongeBob. Let's go. First, we're just going to start off with a picture of SpongeBob and then add in a sponge and distort it to make it match his body. After that, we're just going to cut him out just to make him like match the shape of the actual SpongeBob to make it look more just like him and not just a random sponge. Then we're going to distort another picture and put it on the side. After that, we're just going to mask that out just like we did before. Pretty easy, honestly. It's just using a layer mask, quite easy. Then we're going to darken that side just to make it look kind of 3D-ish, kind of. Just using this big eyeball right here, we're just going to create his eyes just by matching it to where the picture was before. And one second, what the heck am I making right now? Like, this is cursed, I don't like it. Then we're just going to add in some shadows underneath the eyeballs. Honestly, really easy stuff, just using an exposure layer. And we're going to do the exact same thing with the actual eyeballs just to make them look like they're separated, not just sticking together, which kind of makes it look cursed. Then we're just going to mask it out to make it look like it's actually in his eye socket. I don't really know if this looks good, but I ended up keeping it because it's better than nothing, I guess. Then I added in these shapes for the arms or the shoulders, just using the pen tool and a solid white color fill layer. It's pretty easy and it doesn't take very long. Then we just trace the shadows of the drawing with an exposure layer. And then we traced out the arms as well, which doesn't take too long, pretty easy, as well as adding some shadows to it. And we tried to do this, but it takes a long time. It doesn't really look good because, like, what in the world is that? That looks absolutely horrible. So we're going to redefine that off camera. And then added in a sponge texture just to his arm, just like this, using a clipping mask. The same sponge that I added to his just normal body. Pretty easy. So I know I did add in the nose, but I forgot to record it, so sorry about that. I then ended up adding in the pants just like this, using a solid color fill layer, just a brown. And after that, I did that same 3D effect that I did before. Pretty easy, just darken one side with an exposure layer. And then I made the shirt just a white color fill layer and did the exact same 3D effect right on that afterwards. And then I added some cloth fabric texture into the pants using an overlay. After adding in a picture of a tie, I masked it out just to make it look better and added in some shadows, and this actually started to look pretty good, so I'm happy about it. After adding in the pants, I just put some shadows on it like I've been doing over and over and over, and I cut out the shape of the shoes as well. After I cut out the shape of the shoes, I put in some highlights just to make it look a little realistic, and it kind of worked actually. I'm pretty happy with that. And then I made another shape for his mouth. Whew, I'm sick of it, and added in some teeth and put some shadows on them just to make them look a little realistic. It did kind of work. I'm pretty happy with how it ended in the end. After I put some socks on them, I made those blue and red stripes just like on normal SpongeBob, and I'm going to do the rest of this in the speed art section because it's just a lot to put into one little part. So enjoy this. And this is the final product. I like how it turned out, and I hope you guys do too. Now we're gonna move on to our favorite video game villain. We're gonna do Bowser, just because the new Mario movie just came out, and wow, Jack Black did an amazing job, so let's do it right now. To start off with Bowser, I'm just gonna place a normal picture of him in and start cutting him out as shapes with the pen tool. Then we're going to add his eyeballs in and make those little black areas. We're going to make them white just to make it look more like eyeballs. So we're going to use this picture of an eagle actually to do his hair and make it red and do the same thing for his eyebrows. After this, we're just going to add in the horns on his hair as well as the ones on his turtle shell, just using warp to make them face the correct way. And then we are just going to mask out every single claw on his hand individually. This takes a while to make him look actually good, but it does end up looking pretty good in the end. So then we're going to add in his little bracelets. We're just going to use a picture of a choker to do this. And we're going to add these to every single one of his arms, just like this. It's pretty easy. Mask away the parts that we do not need. After that, we're just going to add in some shadows on those, which takes a while, but you need them to make it look realistic. Now we're going to add in a tongue and put it in on his mouth, as well as putting in all the teeth individually using warp. Just using the same teeth, but using warp to make it Then we're going to use this picture of a dog snout to make his nose. We're just going to make that the same color using color balance. It doesn't look amazing in the end, but it's good enough to keep, so I just put it in here, masked it out a little bit, and started masking out those tail spikes, which after doing that and adding a couple more shadows in, I figured it was time to add in a background. So I masked out this rock right here. I made Bowser stand behind it, just like this. It's pretty easy. And then we're going to mask out another rock and put in two skies, mask them together to make them look like the same sky, and just make a dark, gloomy, red, lava-y landscape just like he has in the game. Then we're going to add in these lava geysers and darken it up, use some contrast, and we are also going to add in some sparks, put them on screen, and just mask them out a little bit. Now we're just going to these are all the finished products. I think they turned out pretty well, and I'm pretty happy with this video. And if you guys like it, just make sure to give a like and a comment. It would really help out. See you guys in the next video.